Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Oh, we're going to figure this out.
Oh, we're going to get
when
there.
When this is over, we're going to be sitting on Facebook Live for hours. People will be like, what are you doing on Facebook Live?
Exactly.
Okay.
You know
hey,
what?
Everybody. The chat's live. Please go ahead and chat away to us.
Yes. I mean,
on YouTube.
So now, is this the official start of the podcast? Or like here or here?
Right where you...
What? Now?
Then just
right
a moment.
Both sat down.
Just a moment ago.
That's the moment.
Is when we start the biofriendly.
Yeah. So we had about 15 minutes of us trying, and then we started over again, and now here we are. This is the real deal. Now this is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast.
Yes.
This is the podcast.
So thank you guys for joining us this week, and this is going to be airing on Friday.
Instead of our
usual Thursday.
Thursdays.
Yeah, this is our first Friday that we're going to be airing. And it's
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, happy Friday. And it's kind of a monumentous one. You want to know why?
Monumentous.
What do you think tomorrow is, if this is Friday?
Oh my gosh, is tomorrow Mustachio Bristlecone Day?
Tomorrow is Mustachio Bristlecone Day.
I can't believe we made it.
We made it 30 days after the beginning of a new holiday.
And we only killed 2 of our 6 plants.
Yeah, I wanted to know if you wanted to tell the story. So if you follow our YouTube channel, which we're streaming on live right now, we made this fun video on Earth Day of us going out and ninja planting in our city. And so we have this great video of Noel and I kind of picking these, ground spots and putting in these succulent plants, which we chose, on purpose because we knew a succulent plant in the hot California sun should have a good survival ability, right?
I mean,
that was kind of what we were thinking.
If I were a succulent plant, I would survive in that situation.
You definitely would.
Yeah.
But
I'm not.
We ninja planted, and for a couple weeks there, we would go out and we would pour some water and we'd make sure they're doing okay. And for weeks, they were there. They were fine.
All 6.
All 6 of them. But what happened when we went just yesterday? No.
Somebody dug out and removed 2 of the plants that we had ninja planted.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a bummer.
There were holes. There was holes that were somebody pulled them out.
Somebody was like, "Plant life, get out of here with this nonsense."
This plant life.
But just only took out 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we put them in a place where there wasn't a lot of other plant life there.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious.
Not a lot of things can grow very well there, but
yeah. Oh, and the other 2 were in different locations.
Oh, okay.
So this was one of the locations. So we had 2 in one location, 2 in another location, 2 in
diversified
another.
our plant portfolio.
That is good.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, and one of the spots, they're thriving. They're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, they're struggling, but we gave them some water.
Yeah.
And so,
They're going to make it in the other one.
But here's what I know what's going to happen is that the plant that I was going to get my Tesla from Mustachio, that was the one that was uprooted.
Yeah.
That was the one that was taken.
Yeah.
That was where the Tesla was going to be waiting for me.
I know.
On Mustachio Bristlecone Day.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to get Dodger Stadium.
You were
Now I'm not. That hope is gone.
So for the audience members who've been with us on the Mustachio Bristlecone journey, Mustachio Bristlecone is a new holiday. I mean, it's been around for thousands of years. We just are teaching you about it. But Mustachio Bristlecone is the oldest tree on planet Earth.
And has been delivering gifts to people who know about Mustachio
forever.
As long as you do everything you're supposed to do.
But the key is you plant something into the ground on Earth Day, on April 22nd. And then 30 days later, on May 22nd, Mustachio will leave you a treat, a present, a gift, something to say thank you for planting. So
a lot of people don't even realize.
A
lot of people who have been planting things on Earth Day.
Yeah.
And also going for the walk.
Yeah.
And noting the different life and doing all the different things you're supposed to. People who have accidentally done that have had gifts sitting by what they planted for generations.
I mean, for all you coincidentally planted something on Earth Day, and then 30 days later, there was
you also have to do the walk.
Yeah, you have to do the walk, and you have to add water to the ground. You walk and look at wildlife and count how many living things you can find.
Right, and you have to smell.
You have to smell a flower,
plants.
smell a plant. Yeah. So you got to do the rituals. And then you get a present. But this has been going on for thousands of years.
And lots of people have missed out. They haven't bothered to check to see what their gift was. No. And then someone else takes it. Yeah. Or maybe it disappears in the ground. I don't know exactly how Mustachio works.
Comes back and goes, you
hey,
you don't want my present? What's wrong with you? So that's tomorrow, and we're celebrating by getting together with our families, and we're going to make some mustaches.
There's a couple of traditions.
Yep.
That's right. You do the mustachio mustache.
Mask. Yeah, it's like a make a little.
You got to make your mustache.
Yeah.
You got to bake your pizza.
Bake your pizza because the shape of the pizza is round like the earth, and that's the celebrations. You make a pizza with your family.
You got to spend the time with your loved ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate. It's
I'm sure
be
more
great.
stuff will come up.
Oh, yeah.
Mustachio will let us know.
We're going to take some pictures and upload them and share about our Mustachio Bristlecone Day.
And please send your Mustachio Bristlecone day play.
Do a Mustachio Bristlecone play also.
Yes. Please send your copy of the Mustachio Bristlecone play to us at Biofriendly Podcast. No, if you've whatever you're doing for Mustachio Bristlecone Day, please let us know. Come on to
Painless Green,
Painless Green, or to on Facebook or Biofriendly Planet, or you can send it to us on the Instagram.
Yeah,
Elise is all over the Instagram.
Yeah, she is. She'll keep an eye out for you. Yeah. So you can just tag it Mustachio Bristlecone, or you can tag it Biofriendly Podcast.
Biofriendly Podcast.
Biofriendly Planet. We'll look for all those things. So anyway, but let's get started, right?
All right, let's get started. I think we've wasted enough of everyone's time.
Well, the good thing is they don't know how much time we've wasted.
That's true.
We're only going to let them see a little fraction of nonsense.
Just a hint.
But there was so much more nonsense.
Some of the folks on YouTube Live got a hint of just how much time was wasted.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But hey, we're going to get you Facebook Live.
There's a giant camera up there that could be doing Facebook Live right now, but it's not
because technology is interesting sometimes.
Because technology is interesting sometimes.
Yeah.
We may have to face I'm realizing we may have to face the front of the screen towards us. The camera may be just getting Elise. Or the microphone's on the other side.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. All right, well, there's a lot of time to test, figure these things out.
Okay.
But we'll dive in. I'm happy that we're all back together again.
Yes.
Elise is here. Noel's here. We don't have a sticky face of you sitting in the chair.
No, I'm back. I'm live.
You're back live. No. And so this week we're going to do a subject that it's totally sweet.
Really?
It's sugar.
Do you know, I like to pretend like, sugar, I have no idea. And actually, sometimes I do have no idea.
Yes, it's true.
But today, I had an idea.
You had an idea.
You said yesterday, we're going to talk about sugar, and I said, I don't know anything about sugar.
Yes, and then I said that to Elise as well, right, Elise?
Yes, and I said, I love sugar.
She loves sugar. Got a lot of sugar fans in the house, right?
Yeah, people like sugar. I'm going to be having some sugar tomorrow on Mustachio Bristlecone Day.
Oh, absolutely. And so,
which, if you're watching live, is actually Friday. Not tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. But if you're listening to the podcast, it's tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. But, this is one of those subjects, when we pick a subject on the show, first of all, oh my gosh, there's so much information about sugar, sugar substitutes, sweeteners, this whole thing.
Right.
It's a vast library of what is out there about sugar.
Yeah.
But this is...
And I'll bet...
What?
50% of it is nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so this is what we're going to have to do up front.
Okay, up front.
We're going to have to do a little bit of a bummer run. But I know.
Damn it.
So I know, right?
We're opening with a bummer run?
Well, or I can stop. I can go somewhere else and talk about the sweeteners, and then we get back to sugar. Let's just get out of the way. Let's just peel this Band-Aid off.
Peel the Band-Aid off.
So here's the thing. But we are different from other environmental podcasts because we want to educate you, but we're not here to say you can never have sugar again. That's not our stance. Right?
If we wanted to be hardcore, we could say don't have children.
Yeah.
Don't use anything electric.
Yeah.
That requires electricity, and don't have sugar, don't have meat.
Yeah. Don't buy clothes. Live in the woods.
Buy clothes. Don't exist.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is to stop existing.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not that podcast.
We're not the podcast. We're not telling you to go jump out of a tall building.
Yeah. So I'm going to read some stuff here. Sugar is unique as a world agricultural commodity. With two different crops competing for the same market.
Okay.
Cane,
yes,
produced mainly in poor tropical countries, and beet, produced mainly in wealthy temperate countries.
Okay.
So sugar is made up of the sugarcane and beet. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know about beets.
Yeah, beets. So nearly 83% of sugar comes from cane, and the remainder from beet. Yeah. So the largest producers of cane sugar are Brazil and India, who together account for 40% of the world's sugar supply.
Wow.
Okay. The EU produces around 14% of the world's sugar, with France as the biggest sugar beet producer in the world.
Wow.
They know how to beat it. But when it comes to the environment, and here's the bummer run.
Yeah.
Sugarcane is usually grown as a monoculture. Production in many countries has moved to marginal areas, removing natural rainforests, mangroves, and other sensitive environments.
Bummer.
Cane sugar has been responsible for reduced wildlife biodiversity, polluted rivers and seas, eroded fertile soils, careless use of pesticides and fertilizers, poor management of irrigation, air pollution from burning cane, and damage to coral reefs such as the Great Barrier Reef. The processing of sugar cane has also been shown to be very polluting, especially in poorer countries. So, that's all negative.
All right. Thank you for joining the Biofriendly Podcast. We'll see you next week.
No, but here's the good thing. There are people that are working very hard to fix this problem.
Right.
Okay?
How much sugar do we get out of corn? Isn't corn syrup like all that Americans eat?
Yeah, pretty much high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, we get a ton out of there. I don't have that stat right of that. How much sugar?
Sorry, I'm asking mean questions.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm just curious because we grow a lot of corn in a lot of spots too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And I mean, so here's.
I'm just trying to interrupt you.
No, I get.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
no, but
that's a bummer, right?
It is a bummer
about that.
It is.
That makes sense because sugar is very popular. Everybody loves sugar. Everybody wants sugar. Everybody needs sugar.
Yeah.
And the fact that it would be then taking up space that was used by something else that makes a lot of sense. Is anybody doing anything about this? You say?
Yes. So if you're health conscious too, you're already doing your best to try to have sugar as a treat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to, everybody knows that if you overdo it, you're going to get diabetes. You're going to have a lot of, it's way too many calories in your body. You shouldn't have that much. Cavities, tooth decay. Dentists right now are going, finally.
Yes.
But the thing is that, we love Halloween. We love candy. Mustachio bristlecone's going to leave you candy possibly under your tree. So candy and sweet things and sugary flavor, we love it as human beings. And so I think that anything in moderation is fine. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So we have it in moderation. But sugarcane is something that has had a history of the way that it's being made, the way that it's being produced as a difficult thing. But there are groups that you can start to find now that have more of the fair trade. We're doing sustainable practices. We're making sure that our sugar comes from the right place. So I would keep an eye out for those when you're buying sugar. Yeah. But I'm also here to talk about things that you could try that aren't made from white sugar, like the kind that we have, that might be sweet, and you might like it.
Okay.
You want to hear some?
Let's get some options for people so that we can stop destroying the planet with sugar, just like we do with everything else.
Right. Well, have you guys ever heard of stevia?
Yeah, I think it's stevia.
Is it stevia?
Yeah. It's made by my buddy Steve.
Steve. Do you think that's how they got it?
Yeah, some guy named Steve's like, I'm going to name this after me.
Do you think
stevia?
There's a guy out in the field and he tastes the plant. He's like, stevia!
No, I don't know why they named it stevia. I only know it's stevia because my wife says it's called stevia, and she actually should be the one who's on this podcast, not me, because I have little to.
Good point.
Little
get out of here.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
See you guys later next time. No, stevia, stuvia. Healthcare executive Jim May founded Wisdom Natural Brands in 1982 after a Peace Corps volunteer who'd worked in Paraguay convinced him to taste the leaves of an herb called stevia. So that's the name of the herb.
So Steve named the herb,
Steve
not the
named
sugar.
the herb. So Steve was a guy from thousands of years ago in caveman times.
The great Steve.
The great Steve. Yeah. And he ate a plant and he was like, wow.
And everyone was like, wow. Yeah, I like how you say wow. We're going to call this the wow plant. He said, no, we're going to call it
We're
Stevie.
going Stevie. But add some flair. So maybe end it with a yeah.
Okay.
Stevie, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
No, you know what it was? He was trying the plant, and someone was calling him Steve.
Yeah, he's like, Steve, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Steve, yeah. This processed plant can be up to, this is what's so wild, it can be up to 300 times sweeter than sugar.
Yeah.
It has no calories, carbohydrates, or chemicals. It can be used as a potent natural alternative to artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, though, is that people know the difference. Like, it doesn't taste like sugar does. So it's sweet 300 times as sweet.
Right.
But it's so different that if you're like swapping out these desserts and things that you normally like with the sugar, with stevia, it's not going to taste the same. No. So that's one of the problems. It's very popular.
Well, and probably people overuse it. Because if it's 300 times as powerful, it's very easy to screw up the recipe.
Yeah, exactly. They're sitting there measuring out their baked goods.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right. And then we replace the sugar with the stevia. And it's like, whoa, you should have dialed that back like 300 times.
Yeah.
And the texture is very different too.
It is.
It's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
No.
I think I've had somebody put stevia in like a coffee cup of mine or something along the way. Oh, wait, my audio just popped real quick. Hold on one second.
And we're vamping. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob is now pressing buttons and continuing to do the podcast. Oh, what?
And we're back. But stevia, I've had it before. I think put in like a coffee before, and I was like, huh.
Did you hurl? Did you barf?
No, I didn't barf, but I was like
shh, and then out it came.
I was like, this doesn't taste right.
Yeah.
You know what? What about you? Have you had stevia?
Yeah, I've had stevia, and I think it's all right. I think it's all right. I think that I don't know. I've heard good things about stevia. I do think that the different flavor is tough for me because I've been very carefully. I have been spending a lot of time and energy getting myself appropriately addicted to good old fashioned sugar.
And, like so many of us Americans.
And if you're going to ask me to shift my addiction to something different, I just don't know if I can put in the time.
Yeah,
it was hard enough to get addicted to the sugar as it is.
All right, let's.
I had to eat so many Snickers bars,
and that's the thing. It's like let's go through this episode.
I'm mostly Kit Kat at this point.
I love Kit Kat.
Noel and Elise are 80% Kit Kat.
We are 80% Kit Kat. I'm so glad Elise got Kit Kats for the office.
She got Kit Kats for the office, and you guys,
oh my goodness,
are literally look like human beings. But if you were to cut your finger, pure Kit Kat.
Pure Kit Kat would come out. And I'm only nuts Twix. So say I'm only left Kit Kat, but that's Twix that does the left Twix, the right Twix.
I'll be the right middle Kit Kat.
You're right middle Kit Kat?
Yeah.
Because there's the 4 in a proper block. That's a good point.
Oh, give me a break, guys.
No, this is proof. This is proof. Give me a break. This is proof that Elise is Australian.
I think so.
No, because Kit Kats come from Australia.
Oh, really?
Do they really?
They do. They're Australian originally.
Now I need to go to Australia.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you do. It's a country full of Kit Kats.
Absolutely.
Is that seems
Kit
like
Kats, cherry ripes, violet crumbles.
Oh my God.
Great candy.
Oh, it should.
Right. They've got a sweet called Fruit Tingle.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Fruit Tingles are great. No, it's like a.
I don't have to beat that, do I?
It's like it looks like a sweet tart.
Yeah, I love it.
But when you eat it, it literally tingles on your tongue.
Oh my God,
it's so good.
Fruit Tingle,
so good.
Oh, what a fruit!
I love it. I love it.
Tingle.
Yeah.
Kit Kat. That also sounds like a phrase that would be said as like a compliment or like a slang like word you would call somebody. Like, look at this Kit Kat over here.
Hey there, Kit Kat.
But the thing about stevia,
I know it's kind of gross. If you call somebody a Kit Kat, that felt bad. It felt dirty.
Felt dirty.
I don't like
be like this.
Hey there, Kit Kat. Don't call me Kit Kat.
You go into a tavern and you're like, this place is crawling with Kit Kats.
No, that's not. No, stop it.
Okay.
No, no.
You're turning me off of Kit Kat.
No, I don't like
I'm
Kit Kats.
ruining it for the people that are 80% Kit Kat. Okay. So here's the thing. This guy who started stevia, he's sunk his life savings into starting the company.
No, he was doing well.
But he's done well.
Yeah,
it worked out fine.
Stevia's making a lot of money.
Yeah. And so the benefit of stevia is if you don't like the flavor, it's okay. But they are doing the right things. They've got no chemicals, solvents, or alcohols in extracting or purifying the plant. The leaf residue becomes mulch for cattle feed.
Wow.
And the water is recycled to irrigate local guarani farms. So it's helping. So that's the thing.
And we got to say guarani.
Yeah, guarani.
Which is
guarani?
I don't know. I don't know what
all I'm
guarani
thinking
is.
of
It's
is
G-U-R.
Ace Ventura and guano.
Guano.
Yeah,
That's the first thing I thought of, which is bat poop.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't think it's that.
No, we are into territory where I have little information, so don't look at me.
Okay.
Apart from the fact that I know what Kit Kats.
Do you want me to literally not look at you anymore?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, up next, after stevia, like organic pesticide-free honey. That's always an alter.
Honey.
Honey is a good choice.
Great.
Yes, honey is a great choice. Do you like honey?
The other day, my mom had made like a fruit salad, and instead of putting sugar on it, she put honey.
And it just did not work for you.
It didn't sit right with me.
No.
I could taste the difference.
Have you ever put honey on like cereal? Like, if you put give that a shot. Put honey on cornflakes, or instead of getting honey nut Cheerios, put the honey on the Cheerios.
Honey bunches of oats.
Honey bunches of oats. Honey with dry things is really
it is good.
Yeah, it's better.
It is good. And the thing about honey is that, I encourage you also to like look in your town for local honey people at your farmers markets, because that's the best kind you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most authentic. The bees are on, specific types of plants and flowers in the area. Whereas when you get the store-bought, not that you can't have it. You can go get your Honey Bear. You can go get it, but that's going to...
Is Honey Bear actually derived from bear stolen honey?
Yes, it is literally like what they do is they don't take it from the bees. They steal it from the bear. They take it from the bear.
So they're afraid of bees, but not bears for some reason.
That is the hardest job in the world.
Look, we're Honey Bear. We're not going to get it from bees. That's just not what we do. We're going to get it from bears. So I'm sorry, Carl. You're going to have to go in that cave. And get the honey.
They have a new position open up every week.
It's high paying. It's a good job.
It's a high risk.
Life insurance is offered.
You make $150,000 a year doing that guy. It's a good job.
Hey, you don't get to see any of that.
You meet this grizzled man. He's like, I've worked for Honey Bear for 35 years. I steal bear's honey. Oh, that's the funniest thing we talked about on this show in ages. I am telling you, I have tears in my eyes. Oh my God. So anyway, honey is a great alternative. Yeah. It's basically it is important for me to name.
What do you do with honey, Jacob? Give the audience a little hint.
I make mead. I make mead with honey.
Jacob makes booze.
I do. I know it's delicious, and actually, even though honey isn't necessarily the flavor for you, I can make it not taste like honey at all.
That's fine. I'll literally drink it.
Oh my God,
I don't care.
It's so good.
It's gonna get me buzzed.
It's great. I wanted a hobby. I wanted a brewer's hobby, and mead is the oldest beverage in the world because it's honey, yeast, and water. And so I started this about 6 months ago, and it's been really beneficial. It's been really fun. My mom recently visited, and I gave her some, and she was like, wow. And the biggest joy for me, honestly, is just making it for somebody, like having somebody else drink it and enjoy it. That's like totally why you do it.
Yeah.
Watching somebody's reaction. But anyway, so I used honey to make mead, and I buy from a local beekeeper here in California. So I go to the farmers markets and I buy these big jugs of
not a local
honey.
bear keeper.
And not from the bear keeper. Okay. So
they went and got it from the bear keeper.
Yeah. but it's delicious. But honey is technically considered not vegan. So if there's vegans out there, I know that there's it's technically not listed as a vegan food.
And that's because it's taken from bees, and the bees.
I don't know.
Bees probably need it for what they're doing. So if you're taking it from the bees, then probably that's not.
So in the culture of vegetarianism, you're fine, but in the culture of vegan, which is often like I'm not taking jack from any living being.
Yeah, like they won't take eggs, even if the eggs is unfertilized. They're not going to have any purpose apart from just being there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you are vegan, I understand if honey it's not your jam.
I don't.
But I like it.
I'm just kidding.
I like it.
Yeah. Organic whole cane sugar. Okay, so how about a sweetener that retains its vitamins and minerals? The organic whole cane sugar from Rapunzel, a German company that's been all organic since its 1974 launch.
So when they so all organic sugar. So how is that different and better than the sugar that we're all eating from Brazil? Is
made from canes harvested by the hand, bypassing the typical burning of dry leaves at fair trade farms in Brazil, still at Brazil. So it's there, but they're just doing it right.
Right.
So then processed so minimally that the plant's nutrients are preserved. The result is golden colored, fine textured granules, unbleached and unrefined, with a subtle molasses flavor that tastes especially good in pastries, cookies, and cakes. Anyway,
so like if it's brown sugar,
that's sugar in the raw, basically.
That's not as good.
No, I'm just gonna say that's good.
That's good. Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
So like, isn't that what you get?
I love sugar in the raw. It's my favorite. That's why I put it in my teas.
I think that's their
and
angle.
Also in my face.
Yes, I think that's their angle, is that they're doing it. They're not processing it. They're not doing the procedure.
Well, what's great about sugar in the raw is like if you're putting it in something, particularly if it's hot, I mean, it dissolves so perfectly.
It does.
There's no difference. So it's just, I mean, I think I recommend for hot drinks anyway to just use sugar in the raw because it tastes great and there's no difference. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah. So that's a good choice. That's important. That's an important thing to remember is that, it's really so much in this country is because it was like the way that you could commercialize and mass produce something. Right. And so we've
talked about it, how capitalism can kind of
mess with our health.
The old downside, right? Like when you're optimizing for profits, then you're not optimizing for anything else. Yeah. And that can be the issue. Yeah.
So, again, you can have your sugar. We're just here to educate you. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
So then you have organic coconut sugar. Coconut palm trees produce up to 75% more sugar per acre than cane fields do. And
I think my wife has had me try that too.
And?
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not. That's all right. Yeah. It tastes kind of the same.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't. If you don't get one, there's another one she's had me try.
Okay.
I guess I do know a little bit because I have a wife who knows everything about
these alternate sugars. Yeah. So there's, and then I'm trying not to literally just read here, but there's so much information.
Okay.
There's a lot of information.
Most people listening. It's the people who are watching on Facebook Live are like, "Why are you reading?"
But yes, and I realize that.
Facebook Live.
We're not on Facebook Live.
YouTube Live.
YouTube Live.
Sorry. Unfortunately.
On Twitch. Thanks for tuning in on Twitch.
Without Elise, I think the show would explode at this point. Oh. It's so funny how in just a matter of weeks.
Yeah, weeks.
We've become completely dependent upon Elise.
Elise. When she's not here, I'm lost.
I don't know how we did the podcast.
I'm lost. If you visit us when Elise is out for the day, I just walk in circles.
With your head kind of down. And
what do I do?
Confused.
What do I do? So organic coconut sugar. Anyway, so because it requires just about a fifth of the resources to crank out the same amount of sweetener as regular sugar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sweet Dreams organic brown rice syrup. So smells, feels, and tastes like honey, but has a nuttier undertone.
Isn't that so funny how there's sugar in like everything?
Yeah.
Right? It's just a matter of getting the sugar out of that thing. So you're getting it out of rice, we're getting it out of coconuts, we're getting it out of bees.
Yeah.
We're getting it out of bears.
Yeah, we're stealing it from bears, and people are getting mauled.
Yeah.
That would be a good brand name for the stolen honey. Is mauled honey.
Mauled honey.
So this is I'm jumping over to a different article. This is over on Green Matters, and they talk a lot about agave nectar.
Agave, that's what I was going to say.
That's the one that you were going to say.
So is that like an alternative for honey?
Yeah. So it says agave nectar has grown in popularity these days.
It's got the same consistency.
Yeah, and there are many reasons why. As a natural sweetener, agave nectar has a serious one-up on all the Splendas, Equals, and Sweet and Lows in the market. According to a place from Mom, sorry, they're linking to another blog. Agave nectar is more flavorful and nutritious than sugar. So the good news here is it's got better nutrition for you.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You like it?
I think of all the ones that my wife has put me onto, agave is probably my favorite.
It is? Yeah. It's gotten popular. Yeah. So it says it has a long shelf life and a similar taste profile to honey. So this might be why it's not for you, because it has a honeyness right to it, right?
I put like a drop of it on my tongue one day.
The agave nectar?
But I don't think that it's like... I don't think that's how you'd have something like that. Like sugar, it's a little easier because it's little granules. You can drop a few on, and I don't know, it's like salt. Yeah. But with agave, you have to use it as a flavorer.
Yeah.
And just add it to something that you're making.
Yeah. It's a good.
I think I've had it on like a acai bowl probably.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Those are really popular right now.
I don't get it.
I'm seeing them everywhere, and they've always got a line.
Yeah. And they're not that good.
And that is the official position of the Biofriendly Podcast.
Absolutely. So this article also covers stevia, coconut sugar, which we've already done, but then it throws this one into the ring called erythritol. So it's a sugar alcohol. So despite it being sugar alcohol, erythritol actually tastes a lot more like sugar than one might assume. It also contains about 6% fewer calories than regular sugar. Might be easier for our bodies to process than white table sugar. But the problem with this one is the commercial production of it is very expensive and time consuming.
Yeah. So I mean, anytime you hear expensive and time consuming, that usually means energy dense, which usually means not good for the planet.
Exactly. And then
I'm not saying that's the case here, but that's a guess.
Yeah. And then up next they say maple syrup, and I have a confession.
Yeah.
I don't like maple syrup.
Not even on tacos?
No.
I was like, yeah.
That is a classic Noel, just completely throwing me for a loop. Never tried it on tacos, but I'm willing to give it a go.
Okay.
No, it's a weird thing for me because like when my boys have pancakes or whatever and there's maple syrup around, I really just something happened along the way, or there's like a maple donut. Yeah. I don't like the taste of maple.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Me. I'm partially with you. Okay. Because like I've had maple candy from Canada. Like it's like these little maple leaves that are crushed into candy bars that are very or like not candy bars, candy things.
I know what you mean. Candy things. The classic Canadian treat, candy things.
It's really sweet, and I can see how people would like it and why it's good, but it's too much for me.
Yeah.
It's too much sugar density for me. Yeah. I think. And then also when I put like maple on like maple donuts is a great example. If you're adding maple to things. Some things, it overwhelms me, and I can't, like, the flavor's too much.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you put it on a waffle or on a pancake, just a little bit of it with some butter, I can get behind that. It's really tasty.
Yeah, if I have a waffle, I prefer waffles to pancakes.
Yeah, me too, actually, because I like crispy.
I like crispy, and I love those little rivets. What about you, Elise? Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
More pancakes. Okay.
I don't like waffles because sometimes they're like it's too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I get it. So the crispiness turns you off.
Yeah, you like the soft, fluffy of the pancakes. Yeah, my boys are pancake boys.
I love the texture of pancakes too. Like when
they're
kind of. I like drowning it in syrup.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing: if I had pancakes, like if I had a Grand Slam breakfast or something like that, and it came with it, or waffle even, I'll put butter on there, and then I'll do just a dab, and I'll make it spread around with just like a fraction, but I do not soak.
Absolutely. Really? I agree with you on that.
That's too dry.
Yeah.
Oh, you like if you had a good wet pancake. Do you like with butter too? Do you butter?
Not much butter. Not too much butter. Like if it's on there, I'll spread it, but if it's not, then I'll just leave it on the side.
Yeah. But maple is it's one of those ones that's very popular as like a way to sweeten things. But now I'm getting near the end of just all the alternatives, and then I'll read one last thing, and then we can kind of wrap up. But so I've covered a couple things. Date sugar. Have you ever heard of date sugar before? Date sugar, a granulated form of dehydrated dates, is a good natural sweetener if you're looking for something that has gone through a minimal processing. It's not sugar. It's dates. It's that's all it is.
It's just dates that are.
Yep. So it's you have chopped up dried fruit. It won't melt when cooked, but date sugar does have a natural caramel-like flavor, and it comes to nutritional value, a decent amount of potassium and fiber.
Wow.
So it can be pretty good for you.
Nice.
So, and then we did honey, maple syrup, palm sugar. Palm sugar is made from the sap of various varieties of palm trees, including date, coconut, and sugar palms. Yeah. The sap is collected, boiled down, and sold either as a syrup, hardened disc, or as granulated sugar. Okay. Anyway, so I've read so many things.
So what about the processed stuff?
The processed stuff.
You got anything on that?
On the processed stuff. So here's what I have officially from the worldwildlife.org. Okay. Sugarcane is a water-intensive crop that remains in the soil all year long. As one of the world's thirstiest crops. It's thirsty.
It's thirsty.
Sugarcane has a significant impact on many environmentally sensitive regions, like the Mekong Delta.
What does thirsty mean? I say that all the time as if I knew what it... Yeah, what does thirsty mean in slang?
It's a little risque. So it's a little bit...
Not appropriate.
It's not appropriate. The modern thirsty is to like, you're yearning for attention.
You want something. Yeah.
You want attention.
You want attention.
It's like if I'm like...
Yeah, go ahead.
But
boy
clean.
Crazy kind
of. There you go.
Looking for a partner.
Yeah.
Yes. And so...
So if somebody... If I were to walk in... wearing a Speedo, one might say he's a little thirsty.
Yeah, if you were to upload a pic of yourself to Instagram, like smoldering, and you're shirtless and you're laying like on the beach, they'd be like, look at this thirsty pic.
Thirsty pic.
Get it?
I get it.
That's it.
Or it could be a thirst trap.
Thirst trap. That's it.
Where you're bringing in people.
Yes. Thirst trap. You're luring them in.
So I could be acting as a thirst trap.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's so funny is there's a couple people that I follow that it'll be a beautiful woman and she'll go, I'm posting this thirst trap to get your attention to follow this like social issue or this environmental issue, but they'll basically like post a beautiful photo of themselves so that somebody is literally like looking in the picture and then they're learning. So it is a real thirst trap.
Wow.
It's a trap. I actually think that's kind of clever. That's a good use of your beauty, right?
You know what's funny? I made the joke about the Speedo, but I think if you're a guy and you're trying to be a thirst trap, you're better off in a really
good
nice
suit.
Pressed suit.
We've talked about this before. That a man's thirst trap is looking smart.
You accessorize properly.
Yeah, you look dapper.
Put on some great shoes.
Yeah,
nice watch. Maybe just a killer hat or just a good hairdo.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
A male thirst trap, though, is a guy who looks like he's got it together.
Got it together.
Yeah, right?
That's the difference.
Aspects.
In all aspects.
Body, mind.
Yes, everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Everywhere. The women are a little bit more discerning. They want to see not only attractive and beautiful, but they want to be like, does this guy have a job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
a career.
Does he have employment? Does he live somewhere?
Or is
he
this
with his
somebody?
mom?
Yes, it's this guy in a basement.
Yeah, if you're handsome and you're posting thirst traps as a man, then you better have your own place.
Yeah. Because don't post thirst traps when you live with your mom.
Wise words of inspiration. Anyway, but that was a funny tangent. By the way, we have some comments. It looks like in YouTube Live joining us now. I can't see them. My eyes aren't that good.
It's okay. Elise is on it.
She's on
Christina B likes waffles.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
And
Christina
she wants
B.
to know, did we cover monk fruit?
Monk fruit.
Monk fruit. No, I don't know about monk
We
fruit.
have not done monk fruit.
That's a good one to. So thank you
I'm gonna look it
for
up.
throwing.
So we're going to cover monk fruit right now.
Yeah, we're gonna
because
find
thank
it.
you. Wow. See, this is how it works. You come onto the show live,
and you
can
get to drop some information.
knowledge on us.
Yeah,
So the interesting thing to that
Thank you
comment.
very much, Christina. Right?
Yes, Christina.
Thank
She
you,
actually
Christina.
is very supportive of our videos and has commented and liked before, and we've commented back. So we always appreciate you checking us out, Christina.
Nice.
But in all the information that I researched, I didn't see that one. So this might be kind of this cutting edge thing
Nice.
that I didn't know about. So
While we're looking that up,
yeah.
keep
Okay,
telling
so
us
go
about
on.
this process.
So
nonsense. That's what-
anyway, a vast global market for sugarcane derivatives keep the industry booming. Sugar is prevalent in the modern diet and increasingly a source of biofuels and bioplastics. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I don't like that.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm not. Well, okay. We know
No,
how I
that's fine.
feel about that.
No,
I'm not a fan of growing crops to burn them.
Yes.
And sugar.
I think that's fair.
As an example, is an energy intensive crop to grow. So I
It is. So I don't know if that's the right
it's
direction.
energy dense. That's why
Yeah.
it has so much sweetness in it. But
Yeah.
which means that you can get a lot of energy out of it.
Yeah.
But that's not the way I want to go.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. That's why we do this because people write that because right here on this worldwildlife.org, it's like as prices of petroleum rise, there's a growing market for ethanol from sugarcane.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, that's growing a crop to burn it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so managing social and environmental risks is important for sugarcane growers, processors, and food companies due to regulatory pressures as well as shareholder and consumer expectations for sustainably produced goods.
Yeah.
So there
That
is
actually- go ahead.
there is increased regulations that are being put in place for some of these sugar companies. Now, of course, I'm sure the stuff that's at the bottom of the shelf of the grocery store that's in the massive 20-pound bag, probably not organically sourced, probably not fair trade. So you may have to look for that one that's a few dollars more.
Yeah.
You may have to look for that premium thing that has that fair trade logo, or this sugar was processed in a healthy, safe environment.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's improvements being made.
Yeah, and this also brings up the point with sugar, and another reason why you could look to other options, or even just again the organically harvested options of sugar. But literally, that's how you get the sugar out of these. You burn the whole field.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone here has ever been to Hawaii before, but I remember
haven't.
as a kid I got to go for a soccer tournament once because I used to play that game.
Right.
And I was fairly decent at it.
You were very good at it, and I can confirm that.
Thanks, pal. And,
He was good.
So is that and you're driving along and you look on the side of the road and there's like there's a farm on fire.
Yeah.
The whole farm's on fire.
Really?
And they're doing a controlled burn of the whole because that's how you're getting the sugar out of the cane.
Yeah.
So literally they're growing the plants to burn them.
Wow.
It's creating tons of carbon emissions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why that makes sense. Why classic processed sugar probably isn't the best thing for the environment.
Yeah.
Particularly as there really are other options. I mean, I think about things like Kit Kats, for instance.
Yeah, like we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
I wonder
Go on.
if you were to look a little more closely into how to make a Kit Kat,
Yeah.
possible you could create some sugar with another option.
Okay.
And maybe make a Kit Kat that's a bit better for the environment.
That's right.
Environment. Excuse me. Lost it.
That's okay.
Fell apart.
I can't do it that well. But yeah, that's I bet you we will see more and more. And we did an episode on candy, actually, at one point in time. We saw more candies that were saying this chocolate comes from.
Yeah.
Because we did a chocolate episode. And so there's more and more candy companies that are more independent, family owned businesses that are looking to find ways to the sugar we use is good sugar, or it's
Right.
the raw kind.
Well, and there's also going to be the problem of how much we need because we do eat a lot of sugar.
We do. It's in everything.
And you can make
It's
it
in everything.
way more quickly when you do it the fast. Like the fast way is to burn it. So
Yeah.
you can. The reason that anytime they're doing a lot of something, it's because that's the cheapest, easiest, simplest way to do it for profit.
Yeah.
So So I mean, part of it is, and we talked about this on the chocolate episode, is just cutting back a little bit on the sugar that we have. But I mean, there's so many ways to sweeten things, and if you're baking things, like a lot of people like to bake stuff or making it, like try making some of this stuff with other options.
Try it out.
Go
That's
for it. Give it a whirl.
That's the point. So Elise, did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Monk fruit.
So monk fruit, it is also known as lo han guo.
Awesome pronunciation.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it sounded good. I believed it. I bought it. Yeah.
Or a swingle fruit. It's small and round.
Okay.
It's from southern China. They usually use it for cold and digestive medicines.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's also used as a sweetener.
Okay.
As Christina did say.
Yeah.
So when I'm having my Vicks.
Yeah. When they're sweetening the medicines up. Yeah.
Right.
Probably monk fruit.
But again, this is and thank you for that, throwing that into the fray. The point of today's episode really was, okay, now you're aware that the sugar industry, which is huge, there's going to be a lot of sugar that's made, and it could be coming from places that we're not really helping the environment. So keep an eye out. And then if you're not going to use sugar, there are so many alternatives: agave nectar, coconut sugar, the raw sugar, the organic kind, the dates. There's a lot of honey. There's a lot of ways that you can sweeten. Like Noel was saying, put it in your baked goods, try it in your coffee, put it on whatever you want to sweeten up, and check it out. Give it a whirl, because you'd be helping reduce our regular sugar consumption if you did.
The only way that we talk about this a lot, the only way that we're going to really fix some of the larger problems with the environment is by forcing it financially.
Yes.
So and you
well
can't.
Said.
Yeah, and because that's really what drives the world right now is the economy, right?
Yeah.
The economy is number one. And in fact, it always has been.
It always has been.
Who has the most stuff? Who controls the most stuff? Right.
Yep.
So it is all about how can I be most financially efficient right now?
Yeah.
And you making something less financially efficient helps to create new options and to create a new planet and a more environmentally friendly one. So
that's it.
That's a really
great. That's the tea.
That's the tea.
Yeah, remember when I threw that out 2 years ago? That's the truth.
Yes, that's the gossip.
That's the gossip.
That's how you right.
Look at this
I'm
guy.
gonna teach you slang words.
I'm gonna know them all. By the time we're done, Elise, I'm gonna be on it.
But that's basically the episode. I as you can see, I put down the old device.
I want to know about Sweet and Low. What
Sweet
people
and Low?
think about Sweet and Low
Cotton candy, sweet and low.
Like-
see your Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll. Oh, Tootsie Roll.
I mean, if Elise could Google, I don't know, how is Sweet and Low made? Is that the question that you wanted to?
Yeah. What are the environmental impacts of
Sweet and Low? Because that's a big product, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are the environmental? Okay.
Sweet and Low.
Sweet and Low. What's the other one? Equal.
Sweet and Low are Sweet and Low and equal.
Environmentally sustainable? That's it.
I mean, I know we already dropped the tea, spilled the tea. Spilled, right?
We
already spilled the tea.
Spilled the tea. You got to spill it. Yeah.
Yeah, we already spilled the tea because it's tea.
You can spill it and drop it.
It's liquid tea.
You can drop the tea.
You could drop the tea bag.
I could drop a tea bag? Okay. Well, I both dropped the tea bag and I spilled the tea, and now it's wet and dirty everywhere.
There's tea everywhere.
It's just a mess. We already did that.
Yeah.
But it's just the thing I'm interested in. Like,
Sweet and Low is, it says it's contained of dextrose and cream of tartar.
Cream of tartar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. Cream of tartar. Who knew? That sounds like cream of tartar. Isn't that something you put on fish? I don't know.
Yeah, you put that. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
See, well, I'm that guy who thought tartar sauce was tartar sauce for the raw steak.
Yeah.
But I don't think
it's not?
I don't think it is.
I don't know. It could be different.
So
I don't know. I got made fun of by my wife when I said that. I was like, "Hey, the tartar sauce," and she's like, "It's tartar sauce."
Tartar sauce.
Like it's not for the tartar steak.
I think people say it both ways.
Yeah?
This could be another one of those things where how we were talking about I said stevia and you said stevia. This could just be another pronunciation of tartar.
Is it tartar? I feel like
I would always
the
say
emphasis is tartar.
See, I would if you go to get seafood, like at a fish place, it's tuna tartar. right?
is
Like
it?
that, yeah, or something like
Okay.
that. That's the name of the dish.
Right.
Well, yeah,
But when I was
steak
a kid,
tartare is steak tartare.
Steak tartare, but
is the sauce?
When I was a kid, it was called tartar sauce.
Yeah, I
That's
call
what
it
it said.
tartar
And is
sauce.
that the sauce they put on the tartare steak, or is it a separate thing?
We are so outside the field of what I was ready to talk about. I have no idea. So either we try to find it and try to solve it right now, or we
Right.
Let's
leave it
do the
open.
Google
Leave it open.
voice.
All right, we're going to research
I think
all
we're-
of this.
I'm gonna research all
and bring
this.
it back to you another day.
Yeah, I think-
actually, what we're going to do is we're going to allow our audience to come in, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you've got to be with us live on
You know-
YouTube Live, and in the future when we figure it out, Facebook Live, because then you can jump in and tell us what's going on with these questions we have.
Yeah,
Google seems to be telling me tartar.
it is.
Yeah.
It's tartar.
Tartar.
Like with a D. Like
really?
tartar.
Tartar.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Tartar.
Well, I think
Well, okay.
I wasn't sold on this live streaming thing being like a super helpful thing, but I've turned the corner because of what happened just now.
Yeah, we just had to be patient enough to get people to come on and join us.
I get it now. I get
Now
it.
it's a talk show. It's a live
now
show.
you can have somebody come in and like she did and
drop monk fruit on
drop
us.
monk fruit, and then you go, oh, we learned something from our audience, and that's
Yes.
great. So I see what you're doing. This wasn't wasted.
I'm
This
not
was
a moron.
You're not a moron. You're
Yeah.
a good guy, and we will figure out how to do Facebook Live so that we can have everybody. So, but this was a good episode. I think we
What's your
covered the game.
favorite candy?
What's my favorite candy of all time? Oh gosh. I find in my older years, I'm probably enjoying a little bit more of like the Starburst. And
That's a good choice.
yeah, I'm kind of more
Elise
of
got Starburst too.
yeah.
How does she know? She just
Because
looks at us.
she knows everything.
Elise knows everything.
Elise knows everything.
Well,
What-
I do love Kit Kats.
is that your favorite?
Oh, they're
love
great,
Kit
but
M&M's.
M&M's. M&M's.
knew it.
Are my
With
favorite.
the peanut or without?
Without.
Without. Straight.
Without. I hate the peanuts in
Yeah,
it.
and I don't like anything else. Just chocolate, candy shell.
So good.
Perfect. Yeah. How about you, Elise?
Delicious.
What's your favorite candy or chocolate or whatever?
I would say my favorite chocolate is Kit Kat, but I can't eat chocolate unless I crave it
Yeah.
anymore.
Gotcha.
But I used to be crazy when I was little. I used to eat everything. I loved sour candies.
That's the great thing about being
Gummies.
little
Yeah,
and young. You
you
can
can
eat
eat
all
anything.
that, and then
And your parents don't let you.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you.
that's why it's even more enticing.
It's the one time in your life that you could probably eat anything and your body would just dissolve it and
Yeah.
get rid of it and use it.
My teeth didn't. It dissolved my teeth.
Yeah. But when you're little, you replace them anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. So true.
That's what I would tell my little brother. Eat whatever.
Eat what you
They're
want, man.
gonna-
Those
it's gonna
teeth are
fall
falling out.
anyway.
They're falling out.
You're
Well-
gonna get a new set.
Yeah.
Well, this has
But
been
the new set you got to take care of.
Yeah.
So sorry. You guys are still riffing on the teeth.
Yeah.
sorry.
Go on. So sorry.
We're still spilling teeth.
You're spilling the I'm spilling the teeth. Let's change the phrase. I'm not spilling the tea. I'm spilling the teeth.
I like that.
I do too. Spilling the teeth.
Spilling the teeth.
Should we?
I like that.
That's a
Is that a
tag.
new?
That's a tag.
It's a no tag.
I think spilling the teeth
Yes.
Biofriendly is spilling the teeth.
because it's way better. It's got our tilt on it.
Yeah.
We're adding
because
that
it's
in.
wrong, which is right.
It's wrong, which is right. It's so if it's so wrong, I don't want to be right.
Thank you, Christina, for your help today.
Thank you, Christina, for chiming in.
participating.
Thank you,
in the,
appreciate it.
And that's why we should always have you guys pop in. And next week we'll get this figured
We're
out.
going to sort out. We'll get the Facebook Live right also.
Yeah.
So
We gotta
that, you know,
practice. and
Yeah,
see.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But this has been the Biofriendly Podcast. We are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
We are the Siegfried and Roy and Meryl Streep of podcasts.
This show is a joke.
Never believe.
Step one.
Step one.
Step one, believe.
Yeah, you follow never believe with step one, believe.
Yeah, that's right.
That's perfect.
Step one, chill out.
He knew it. He knew
Yeah,
it. What
he
a
was just
rascal.
playing.
He's
Or it
such a
just came to his
rascal.
head right now.
He's a rascal. And then
And
our
then our
new one, which is spilling the teeth. What?
I've got it.
What?
Let's add how long we've been spilling the teeth.
Okay.
When did we
Spilling
start?
it 2019.
Spilling
the teeth since 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, gold.
Yes.
That's gold, guys.
Yeah.
That's it. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Bye.
There she goes.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.